Hi everyone, Natalie here, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about inversion therapy and the wonderful benefits of hanging upside down. It's been around for years. There are inversion tables where you can actually lay and tilt your body at different angles. There are inversion chairs which do similar things. There's even spinal decompression tables that do something similar where it actually puts traction on your spine. And then I also teach aerial yoga. So I have a hammock back here to demonstrate how you can do inversion therapy with a hammock as well. So when you think about the fact that every single day we're in an upright position for hours and gravity is weighing down on us, it's compressing our spine. You'll notice as people get older, they have a tendency to get really short. Your grandparents, they shrink, right? It's that weight of the body, but and then it also becomes a postural issue too. But the wonderful thing about decompression therapy and hanging upside down is that you can start to reverse some of that. By hanging upside down, instead of gravity drawing down on you in one direction, you're opening everything up in the opposite direction. So you're creating space between all those discs in your spine, which can be extremely therapeutic. The disc between our joints, they don't get very much blood flow, oxygen flow, and so by doing inversion therapy, you actually start to open up that space. It makes more space for the discs. It allows for more blood flow, more oxygen flow into those areas, which can create a lot of healing, and that's a pretty amazing thing. I had chronic neck pain every single day for 7 years. I was doing some contortion work, and I was on the floor with my chin on the ground. My entire body was over my head, and I actually kind of snapped my neck. And I couldn't move my head for months. It was pretty bad. I mean, everything just went into a catatonic position where I was kind of stuck. And I had neck pain chronically for 7 years after that. Once I started doing aerial yoga, I mean, even now, still, when I get in there, I still get cracks in that spot where I kind of jacked up my neck. But it pops. It's like opening up all of that. And after a few months of doing aerial yoga, I have been neck pain-free on a daily basis for over 3 years now. That's a pretty amazing thing. It can help with a lot of different things, a lot of different injuries. So some of the benefits of inversion therapy and just hanging upside down, it increases the blood flow in your body. It actually increases the circulation, so it can improve your circulatory system, it can improve your heart, and it can alleviate some of those varicose veins that we have going on. It's really great for reducing pain, pain in the spine, whether it's back pain. Minor and moderate herniated discs can really help with this. Even some of the severe ones can really help, because when that disc is being compressed and it's pushing out in some direction that's causing pain on the nerves, this helps to open up that space, and it allows for that disc to kind of slide back into where it needs to be. So it can be great for those things. Obviously the chronic neck pain, it can be great for sciatica if you've got scoliosis. Even like osteoarthritis can really help to open up some of the joints. Fibromyalgia. Just from hanging upside down, the blood will rush to your head, but it increases the flow. So there's a lot of other benefits by switching up the direction that your blood is flowing in and allowing for blood flow to get into other areas. It kind of flushes out your organs, so it can actually help with your digestion as well. It improves the lymphatic system. Our lymph system is similar to the blood system, but it's a different kind of fluid that flushes through our whole body, and things can get really stagnant. You know, we get stagnant with a lot of fluid in the lower body because it takes a lot more effort for it to come back to the heart and recirculate. So by hanging upside down, you're flushing everything out of the lower body into the upper body, and you come back upright and everything recirculates again. It can help and boost your immune system. It can help improve your mental health, more blood flow and oxygen to your brain as well. I've had some students that I've been working with for about 2 years now who have actually seen an increase in their height. It can make you taller again by lengthening your body. And some people even claim that there are some cosmetic things where you can actually see your skin looking younger and healthier from reversing that blood flow, getting more flushing through the face as well. So those are just, a few of the wonderful benefits of doing inversion therapy and hanging upside down. In my classes that I teach, I typically start out with maybe 2 to 4 minutes per inversion. And when we're doing aerial yoga, you're actually hanging completely upside down. With the inversion tables, you can kind of ease yourself into it, go at a slight angle instead of completely upside down. But that's one way to kind of ease yourself into inversion therapy if you have access to something like that. It is normal to feel a little lightheaded, a little dizzy when you come up from hanging upside down, and it's something that you kind of want to gradually work up to. The more consistent you are with your inversion practice, the easier it gets and the longer you can hang upside down. I typically do 2 to 4 minutes, 2 or 3 times per class that I teach in an hour. But if you practice regularly, you're doing it every week, you can actually hang upside down a lot longer. I've done up to 8 minutes myself, comfortably at home in my own practice. When you do come up though, just make sure you hold on to something, you kind of lean slightly forward, head still higher than your heart, but just allowing once you have all that blood flow in your head, it's going to rush out and you're going to feel lightheaded and dizzy. Totally normal. You just want to give yourself maybe 30 seconds to a minute to just chill out, breathe, and once all that blood flushes out, just let it recirculate so that you start to come back to a normal phase. A couple of contraindications, things to look out for before you start doing any kind of inversion therapy. If you have any recent muscle strains, any joint pain, not joint pain, but joint sprains, like if you twisted something or your wrist, or recent surgeries, you really want to be careful, let those wounds heal depending on what it is. If you're really congested, say you've had a recent cold or flu and you're completely, your sinuses are blocked, it may feel pretty uncomfortable. You already have enough pressure in your head. If it's, minor allergies, something like that, usually totally fine. If anything, it'll help flush everything out a little bit better. Be aware that if you've got something like vertigo, any kind of fainting, seizures, epilepsy, those kind of things, you really want to be careful with doing your inversion therapy and make sure you've got someone there. It may be a little much for you. Glaucoma, if you've got any, blood vessel issues in the eyes, probably not good to be upside down for an extended period of time. Any trauma, brain injuries, extreme high or low blood pressure, you will be affected by the inversion therapy, so be very careful with those kind of things. Any kind of hernia, blood clots as well. So there are some issues that you just want to be aware of when doing inversion therapy. They may be okay for partial inversion therapy, like the chairs or tables. Spinal decompression on an actual decompression table, which you can get treatments from, typically from a chiropractor. That should be okay for most of these contraindications, but always talk to your doctor about those type of things. For these contraindications, I wouldn't recommend it for hanging directly upside down and supporting yourself on something like the aerial yoga hammock. And then just a couple more things. If you get Botox or any kind of fillers in your face, you want to give yourself at least 6 to 12 hours. I wouldn't even do it in the same day, just because you've just injected your face, right? And then you go hang upside down, all the blood flow is going to flush through. You just don't want any of that to be affected by those kind of treatments either. Also, I'm going to give a little demonstration on how to get into the hammock and hang upside down, but I recommend please do not do this at home if you've never done it before. If you don't know how to rig, don't try and rig something yourself. It is a very specific type of fabric that can hold thousands of pounds of body weight. The rigging is done by a professional rigger who does this everywhere. We don't rig our own things. It's very important. You want something that's going to support you correctly. And also, your first times going into an inversion, it's really important to have someone there to spot you. It may look really easy when I do it, but there is a certain way. It needs to be on a certain part of your body, down in your sacrum when you hang backwards upside down, and you don't want it to be sliding up to your waistline. That puts a lot of pressure on the low back and it won't feel very good. Also, just making sure you're getting your legs and everything in the right place. So with that said, I'm going to do a quick little demo, and hopefully you'll look into inversion therapy if you've got any issues, joint pain, spine, neck, herniated disc, all this stuff, or just, God, give you a little breath of fresh air. It really just helps to improve your entire circulatory system and improve your health in a lot of other ways aside from just chronic pain. Like I said before, all of those digestive, mental clarity, and just health benefits are completely wonderful. I think this is the reason why most people come back to my class, is just for this inversion therapy. So from here, I'm going to step backwards with my shoulders through the back. I'm going to take my thumbs, hook them onto the fabric, and press down so it's right about where my sacrum is. I'm staying right underneath where the rigging is, putting my weight into it, open the legs wide, and then bend my knees here so that I can relax and just hang out. Feel a little more comfortable, you can always flex your feet and hook, or even add a little shoulder stretch with this too, which is really nice. Either way, hope you enjoyed this video on inversion therapy and all the wonderful benefits, and hopefully it will inspire you to hang upside down and gain some of those benefits yourself.